Have you ever stopped to think about what you truly owe? Not just to yourself, but to the people who stand by you. It's not money, not success, but something deeper. Today, we're going to uncover the 7 things that will change how you see your life, your family, and yourself. Stick with me. There's a true story about a man who had everything anyone could want: wealth, influence, and respect in his field. On the surface, he was thriving, but behind closed doors, his relationships were crumbling. His parents barely saw him. His children grew up knowing more about him through newspapers than in person. And his friends stopped reaching out, knowing he was too busy for them. One day, after a health scare that landed him in the hospital, he had time to reflect. As he lay there, he realized no amount of success would ever make up for the moments he missed, the calls he didn't return, and the relationships he'd let slip away. In that quiet moment, he understood that life isn't measured by bank accounts or accolades, but by the connections we nurture and the love we give and receive. And he knew he had to make a change, to give back to the people who had supported him, even in his absence. It's this principle that we're diving into today, because each of us owes something far more valuable to those we care about and to ourselves. And I'm here to show you how to reclaim that before it's too late. Here's what we owe to our family and ourselves. Things that, if honored, can transform our lives and deepen our relationships. Today, I'm not just talking about values, I'm talking about commitments. Each one of these 7 things is a step toward living with purpose, creating bonds that last, and respecting both ourselves and those who matter most. 1. Time and presence. We owe our loved ones more than just our physical presence. It's about truly being there, listening, sharing, and connecting without distractions. Time is fleeting, and we often only realize its value when it's too late. Take Mark, a financial analyst in Chicago. He was so focused on his career that he missed his son's first steps, his daughter's graduation, and countless family dinners. His family got used to him always saying, "Next time." But then Mark had a wake-up call, a car accident that forced him to confront his own mortality. Lying in the hospital, he realized that all the promotions and accolades were empty without the memories he'd missed. From that day, Mark committed to being there, fully there, at family dinners, recitals, and those small moments that don't come twice. 2. Honest communication. Honesty is the cornerstone of any meaningful relationship. It takes courage to express the truth, even when it's difficult, but without it, we build walls, not connections. Sarah and Tom, a couple from Atlanta, had been married for 15 years. But for the last few, their conversations had grown shallow, avoiding tough topics for the sake of peace. When Tom found out he had a chronic illness, he hid it from Sarah, fearing her reaction. Months later, Sarah discovered the truth accidentally and felt betrayed, not because he was sick, but because he hadn't trusted her with the truth. In that moment, Tom realized that withholding honesty to protect each other only created distance. They worked on rebuilding their relationship, grounding it in transparency, and the trust they regained became the bedrock of their marriage. 3. Respect for their dreams and values. Respecting the dreams and values of our loved ones, even when they don't align with our own, is a powerful way to show support and build trust. Michael was a father from Boston whose son Alex dreamed of being a musician. Growing up in a conservative household, Michael couldn't see a future in music and pushed Alex to pursue law. But Alex was determined. One day, Michael attended one of Alex's small performances and was moved by his son's passion. It was then he realized the importance of respecting Alex's dream, even if he didn't fully understand it. Michael became his son's biggest supporter, showing up at every gig, and their relationship blossomed through mutual respect and trust. 4. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is essential in any relationship. It doesn't mean forgetting or condoning hurt, but letting go to heal ourselves and our connections. After a long-standing rift, 2 sisters from Denver, Linda and Karen, stopped speaking over a family dispute. Years passed, and the bitterness only grew. When their mother became seriously ill, they found themselves in the same room for the first time in years. Seeing each other after so long, they realized that their anger had only stolen precious time. They sat down, shared their perspectives, and chose to forgive each other. That decision didn't erase the past, but it allowed them to rebuild, and they cherished every moment they had left together. 5. Encouragement during struggles, during hard times. We owe our loved ones more than sympathy. We owe them strength, a reminder of their resilience, and unwavering encouragement. In New York, Lisa, a single mother, lost her job and was struggling to make ends meet. Her best friend Maria didn't just offer a shoulder to cry on, she showed up with job leads, watched Lisa's kids so she could go to interviews, and sent daily messages to remind her of her worth. Lisa often says that she wouldn't have made it through without Maria's belief in her. It wasn't grand gestures, but Maria's constant presence and encouragement that helped Lisa find her footing again. 6. Boundaries and self-respect. Setting boundaries is not about creating distance. It's about maintaining respect for ourselves and our needs. Relationships thrive when there's mutual respect, which includes honoring our own boundaries. They're another story. Joshua found himself constantly saying yes to everyone from clients to family. Eventually, he burned out, feeling resentful and overwhelmed. His wife noticed and encouraged him to set boundaries. Learning to say no wasn't easy for Joshua, but it gave him the mental space to reconnect with himself and show up more genuinely for those he loved. His relationships improved, and he felt a renewed sense of peace. He realized that respecting himself was one of the best things he could do for his family. 7. Legacy of love and values. The legacy we leave isn't about money or material success. It's about the values and love we pass on to those who come after us. In Philadelphia, a man named Charles was known for his kindness and integrity. He didn't have much wealth to leave behind, but he was rich in principles. After his passing, his grandchildren gathered to honor his memory, each one recalling lessons he taught them about honesty, kindness, and resilience. His legacy was a treasure they carried in their hearts, one that influenced how they lived and how they treated others. Charles's legacy was proof that the greatest inheritance isn't wealth but wisdom and love that can guide generations. Look at your life right now. What's stopping you from being fully present with the people you love? Is it work? Is it pride? Think about it. Because someday, there'll be no second chances. So ask yourself, is what you're doing now worth the price you're paying in time? Let me ask you this. Are you afraid of the truth? When was the last time you sat down and really shared what's on your heart? Real talk isn't easy, but what's harder is waking up to find that the people who mattered are no longer there. So what are you hiding? Who needs your honesty today? Think of the people around you. Your family, your friends. How many dreams have you dismissed because they didn't fit your idea of success? Who in your life needs you to believe in them, to stand by them, even if you don't fully understand their vision? Stop being an obstacle, be a supporter. Right now, as you're listening, think about the grudges you're carrying. What weight are you holding on to that's keeping you stuck in the past? Imagine letting it go. Feel the freedom. Ask yourself, is it worth sacrificing my peace? If the answer is no, it's time to let it go. There's someone in your life right now who's struggling. You may not even know the full story, but they're waiting for a word of hope, a reminder that they're not alone. Who needs that reminder today? Don't wait. Be the voice that lifts them up. What boundaries do you need in your life? Are you saying yes to everything and no to yourself? Ask yourself, who am I living for? Because true relationships respect the lines you draw. Take back control, respect yourself, and watch how others begin to respect you too. One day we'll all be gone. But what will you leave behind? Will people remember your kindness, your strength, your values? Or will it all fade away with you? Decide today what you want your legacy to be and start building it with every choice you make. Now, I've laid out what you owe to yourself and to the people who matter most. But knowing isn't enough. It's time to take action right here, right now. If you're ready to make a change, let's start with 3 simple steps. You don't need to wait for a perfect moment or a better time. The journey starts now. Step 1, prioritize quality time, even in small doses. Right now, grab your calendar or phone and schedule a time this week to be fully present with someone you love. It doesn't have to be grand or expensive, just intentional. Set aside distractions, look them in the eye, and give them your undivided attention. You'll be amazed at what even a short, meaningful conversation can do. Today, commit to making time for those who matter, no excuses. Imagine a life where they don't have to fight for your attention. You owe this to them, and you owe it to yourself. Step 2, speak your truth with courage. Think of someone you need to be honest with. Maybe it's a family member, a friend, or even yourself. Write down what you want to say, then set a time to have that conversation. Be vulnerable. Speak from the heart without holding back. When you bring honesty into your relationships, you open doors for real connection. Right now, make a list of people you need to be real with. Who needs to hear your truth? Don't wait until regret becomes a teacher. Say what needs to be said today. Step 3, start building your legacy today. It's time to define the legacy you want to leave. What values do you want to pass on? Write them down. Then think about one way you can start living those values every day. If kindness is your legacy, find someone to help today. If integrity is your value, make sure every decision aligns with it. Small acts build a lasting legacy. Ask yourself, how do I want to be remembered? Then live in a way that answers that question every single day. Don't leave it to chance, create it with intention. Don't just listen to this and move on. Act on it. Right now, take one small step. Because each step you take from today is building something greater than you. A legacy, a bond, a life you'll be proud of. This journey is yours to start, but it's also yours to continue. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start living with purpose today. At the end of the day, life isn't measured by what we get, but by what we give to ourselves, to our loved ones, and to the world around us. Every moment, every choice, every act of love and respect builds the story of our lives. The time to start is now. Don't let it slip away. Be the one who stands for something greater, the one who leaves a legacy that speaks of strength, love, and unbreakable bonds. So ask yourself right now, are you ready to make that change? Are you ready to owe more to your family and yourself, and to give more than you take? This isn't just a thought, it's a call to action. You know what you need to do. Now it's time to make it real. If this message spoke to you, if you felt even a spark of truth to this channel, this is where we dig deep, where we challenge, inspire, and grow together. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, someone you want to see thrive. Because sometimes, all it takes is one message to change a life.